So now we're looking at the Tower card and its meanings. So the Tower brings with it upheaval, sudden changes, unexpected changes. And these are major changes and personal crisis. It's a very chaotic time and very destructive. It's the breaking down of illusions, false beliefs and the unstable foundations. So maybe here we should just quickly talk about how the Death card and the Tower differ, because both talk about changes. Both can be quite sad, both can be challenging. But the difference here is that with the Death card, these are more gradual, natural, progressive changes. With the Tower card, the changes that come in are drastic, chaotic, sudden, unexpected changes. So in the Death card, we kind of know that the changes need to occur. We're aware of it. We may be in resistance. We may be finding it difficult to make the changes, but we know that they have to happen, that they have to take place. With the Tower card, we're a little bit more ignorant to that, and we aren't as aware of the changes that need to happen. And so when they happen suddenly, and they happen in a more chaotic and drastic feeling way, or just a much more destructive way. The changes that need to happen in the Death card are often very natural. They're very equal to all humans. They're things that everybody will go through. They're changes that all humans will go through their journey of life. The changes that need to happen with the Death card are more about the individual and how they are living their life. Often it can show that a person is living in denial, or maybe in a state of arrogance towards the situation. It's usually external forces that come in to make this change happen, rather than it being a more internal process like it is with the Death card, where it's that natural way of changing. So with the Tower, it's more changes that need to be made because of the illusion in which the person is living under. And that's why when these changes occur with the Tower, we suddenly see through the illusion, and we have the revelations and the awakening. So if we look at the card that comes before the Tower card, which is the Devil card, which we spoke about yesterday, the Devil shows us where we are living in ways that aren't serving us, in ways that aren't good for who we are and where we want to be in the future. We're living in ways where we feel trapped, and we're living from that false kind of mindset place, an unhealed version of ourselves that needs to be looked at, and it needs to be healed for us to be able to break free from that, and to live a more authentic and healthier way. And that can be in anything, whether it's a relationship, the job you're doing, anything that you're telling yourself that you need or that you can't let go of. In the Devil card, it also shows that the chains that are keeping the humans chained to the Devil are actually loose, and that is the illusion that they actually can break free. But it's not really in the card of the Devil that we are able to see that. We might be able to see what the problem is, but we can't see the freedom. Whereas when we get to the Tower, it's then that something will happen, and it's often thought that it's like a divine intervention, where something will happen that will absolutely break that illusion and shatter it, so that you'll have no choice. You will be forced into making those changes, or those changes will occur, and you will your illusion will be shattered, and you'll be able to see things for how they really are. So the Tower is kind of like the breaking point after the Devil. It is the shattering of the illusion that you've been living under up until now. So examples of how it might show up in a reading would be in health. It could show up, maybe somebody's been in active addiction, and although they understand that they have this problem, they haven't been doing anything about it. And then the Tower moment would present itself as possibly their partner leaves them, so there's a relationship breakdown because of their addiction, or maybe they have a massive health scare, so they go to the doctors and they're told that if they don't stop the addictive behaviour, then it could be quite a bad outcome for them, and they're forced then to look at what they're doing and to try and break free from that. In a relationship, it could be a toxic relationship, and then something finally happens where the person that is suffering, it reaches their breaking point, in whatever way that might show up for that person, so that it ends the relationship once and for all. In relationships, it doesn't always have to be toxic. It could just be a couple living together, they've been together for years, and they're not the same people they were when they met, say 10 or 15 years ago, and they've outgrown each other, but they continue to live together, they continue to be in a relationship, and maybe they've become more like housemates than like in a romantic kind of relationship. And so something might happen, maybe one of them has an affair, or maybe one of them gets a job offer at on the other side of the country, which would mean them both moving, but this then forces the other person in the relationship to look at the relationship, because they might be faced with, well, I don't really want to move, and actually I've realised I don't value the relationship enough now to give up what I've got here and move to the other side of the country, and that could bring an end to that. And so divorce can often be signified by the Tower card. In a job, it could be something like a person is doing a job and it's just causing them lots of problems. It's not serving them, it's just maybe it's causing them health problems, mental health, maybe even physical health problems, and it could even be that physically they end up really declining because of the job they're doing, that they continue to keep doing. Or it might be that they go in one day and there's the Tower moment comes through as maybe the company collapses and they're made redundant, or maybe there is something that they've always been destined to do, and they've always wanted to do, but life hasn't ever given them the opportunity to pursue this thing. So I don't know, maybe they've always dreamed of being a train driver, and they've never done it, but they know they'd love to do that. That's what they've always wanted to do, but they're in the comfort of the job they've already got, and it's familiar, they know the people there, it's easy, they know what they're doing, and although it doesn't fulfill them, it's being in that comfort zone. But then maybe one day they get into a huge row at work with the boss or a colleague, and then they might, I don't know, maybe they get the sack or something because of this. But then what happens from this is that they're then forced to look for more work, so actually then they decide to pursue their dream of becoming a train driver. The Tower can also come up around belief systems, so it might come up for a person where they start to question their own belief systems, or look at their lack of belief systems and maybe start having new belief systems. This can come in the form of some kind of spiritual experience, such as a near-death experience or a visitation. It can come up for the person to actually look at themselves and to change who they are as a person and how they present to the world. So maybe if someone's very judgmental, it might come up then to maybe it places that person in a situation where they are now having the lived experience of the people they were judging, in order to help them to stop being judgmental and hold more compassion for other people. And that really is it for the Tower card, and tomorrow we will look at the Star card.